Hello YouTube, I am Morphin and you are watching my second Hearts of Iron 3 Let's Play. My first one is still active, where I am playing Germany, trying to make really powerful force in the center of Europe, and I am still quite early in the game. War still not started and I am preparing my offensive on Denmark and Poland. I definitely recommend you to check that out. I didn't plan to make a tutorial. I was planning to record just a simple let's play, but after recording and after uploading those videos to YouTube, I have realized that I have give you a tons of information that can be useful to the beginners. And one difference from me and from other tutorials online is that I didn't try to spam you with all different informations like map mods and all those resources and different tabs that we have. Tons of useless information put in a single recording of 1 hour long. So after watching a video you will probably forget all that I have said. But I did something completely different. I was playing the game slowly and I was explaining why am I doing things that I do. I was talking a lot about army organization, order of battle, about theories and practical, all that influence your research and production. So if you are a beginner, I will definitely recommend you to check that let's play. It's a Germany, and Germany gives or brings a lot of responsibility to the game, and I'm sure it's quite terrifying for new players to play such a large and powerful nation. So this time I will do something similar, but with a smaller nation like Turkey, for example. I was thinking a lot which nation should I start, and I wanted to do a Yugoslavia let's play because I live in Zagreb, capital city of today's Croatia, which was part of ex-Yugoslavia, and I wanted to join Comintern because I never actually did. Every time I was playing Yugoslavia I was joining the Axis or the Allies, but this time I wanted to join Soviet Union and play a huge communist role in the Eastern Europe. But I was thinking a bit, and that game would probably lead to a fail, because I'm surrounding, as a Yugoslavia, I'm surrounded with some major powers that are on Axis side. One of them is Italy, another one is Hungary, which most of the times they join the Axis, and the biggest problem for me will be Germany, because after they annex Austria I will have direct border with 3 major Axis powers: Italy, Hungary and Germany. On the other side you have Greece, which most of the times join the Allies side, and I think that Soviet Union is a bit far away from me and they cannot be helpful. So it will be a tough game. Maybe I even could survive, but it would be tough. So I decided to play Turkey because Turkey have similar starting position like Yugoslavia. They have almost the same amount of industrial capacity, same amount of leadership, and similar theories and practicals, all that affects your research. So I decided to play Turkey and join the Soviet Union in a huge fight against Allies and Axis. I'm bordering France. This is today's Syria, and we have Beirut, which is part of the Lebanon, and we have Iraq, which is also a member of Allies. So I hope we will all have some fun. You will definitely learn something new if you are one of the beginners, or maybe even one of advanced players that are still trying to learn some new tips and tricks. I hope you will have some fun, and thank you for watching. Alright, time to start. Before I unpause the game, I will select all my units and move them to the capital city, somewhere in the center, so I can easily send all units to the front line after I reorganize them. I will press the shift button and select all HQs that I have, and I will disband them because I don't need them at this moment. I first wanna reposition and reorganize my divisions, and later I will assign them to the HQs. The only HQ that I didn't delete it and that I can delete is the theater HQ, because theater HQ already have assigned the territory under its control, so you cannot delete it until you create another theater. I must say that I will talk about every single aspect of the game. I will try to go to as much details as I can, but I will not spam you with all informations in this recording. I will try to play the game and explain every concept that I need at this moment. Why am I doing the things that I'm doing? So before I unpause the game, I want to check diplomacy screen. I want to align myself to the Soviet Union. I want to automate trade, because automated trades do really good job. You don't have to micromanage every single trade agreement. And if you notice that you are losing the resource that you maybe need, that you are low on the resources, you can easily go on a production screen, check out your trade routes and cancel the exports of the resource that you need. So automate trade, my recommendation, do it. Prepare for war, decision that will lower our neutrality, and with lower neutrality we will have available much better laws in politics screen. So as closer we are to war, as lower our neutrality is, we will have available much better laws. You can see them in the bottom part of this screen. While I'm at politics screen, I definitely want to check out the ministers that I can replace and maybe give some better ministers a job. Susceptibility to committern plus 10%. That will improve or fasten the drift towards Soviet Union faction. Armament minister, let's go with supplies plus 20%. If there is any single part of the game that you don't understand and you would like me to explain it, please feel free to post a comment down below, and I will give my best to reply on your comment as soon as I can, and maybe even explain that in a next recording. So, for example, if you don't know what infantry theory, militia theory, practicals, naval engineering DK, medium bomber practical DK, if you don't know what those means, please post a comment down below and I will be really glad to respond and help you. By the way, I must say that I will talk about all those things, but not now. Now I want to change the ministers and I want to choose the best ministers that I have at my disposal. And trust me, I will talk about all those traits in the near future. Defend reinforced chance plus 10%. I don't need it at this moment, but I will later when war comes. Chief of the Army, infantry practical DK. I don't want to take it because I will rise my infantry practical really fast, and infantry practical will not have a time to decay, so I will go with the supply consumption reduction. Naval base efficiency, and naval aviation doctrine. Those are all ministers that I could change now. I can also change my training laws. If you mouse over this icon up over here, you can see that I can select specialist training as a training laws, but I don't want a specialist training because it's not efficient. Unit recruitment time plus 20%, starting experience plus 25. I think that for me at this moment is much better. Advanced training plus 10% unit recruitment time and starting experience plus 15. I need 13.1 cash for that. I have only 7, so I'll have to wait a bit for it. When you're playing as a smaller nation with low manpower, you should focus on quality of your units and not quantity, and that's the reason I want to improve my training laws. Let's go to the technology screen, and there is one interesting and really useful tip that I would recommend you related to technology. Let's do it right away. Go to Intelligence tab, raise your priority for active domestic spies, put counter-espionage at 1 because you are only a minor nation and all other majors will not be interested in spying you. So counter-espionage priority of 1, but national unity should be my top priority since it is really low at 54%. And here comes the tip. Select the majors filter, and since you don't have enough leadership to train a lot of spies, to distribute it to your espionage slider, don't choose a lot of major nations, choose only 1 or 2. I will go with United Kingdom, top priority, and Germany, top priority. Select a mission for attack espionage. That way your spies will try to steal the enemy technologies and they will slow down the enemy research. Stealing of enemy technologies can be a really efficient way on improving your nation. So I will go with United Kingdom, military, espionage, and Germany. Feel free to spy any major nation that you want. Maybe Soviet Union is not a good choice because their starting technologies are not so good, and I must point out that you can steal technologies only that are more advanced than yours. Let's check out technology screen. I definitely need motorized infantry, but for that I need to research cavalry small arms at level 3. Currently those techs at are level 1, and now I'm researching level 2, so I will need a lot of time to get them to level 3. Let's go for better infantry units. Light tank brigade. And most important, industrial production and industrial efficiency. Industrial efficiency will improve the speed at which your industrial capacity performs, and everything will be a bit cheaper to build. So industrial efficiency will have top priority, industrial production will have top priority, and construction engineering, which will allow me construction of more industrial capacity, will also get a top priority. I must say that industrial efficiency is even more important than industrial production, because industrial production rise your IC by plus 2.5%, and if you take a look at your current IC, you can see it's 18, and plus 2.5% is not much, but efficiency rise by 2.5% is a lot, and you will improve it even more. Technology related, I will definitely recommend you to start with regular technologies before land, naval and air doctrines. While you still have low number of divisions, it's more efficient to level up your technologies so you don't have to upgrade a lot of new divisions later when you get better technologies, when you have large army, and when you research, for example, those 4 infantry technologies, and when you have 100 infantry divisions, you will have to invest a lot of your industrial capacity into upgrades. So research those first and save land, naval and air doctrines for last. I will invest all my current leadership into espionage so I can fill up those countries and infiltrate my spies over there. When I get enough free spies, around 20, 25, maybe 30, I will switch my priority to research, but starting with espionage. Introduction screen. I will definitely recommend you to start with building up your practicals. If you take a look at the airbase, for example, and mouse over this little icon, you can see that construction, our current construction practical, reduces the building cost and time by 65%. And after we build this airbase, our construction practical will rise by plus 0.1. So improving our construction practical early on will make building of our air bases and everything that needs construction practical will make it cheaper and faster to build. So start with a few runs of air bases. You can also do the build on the main map. For example, click on a province. As I'm playing Turkey, my next war, my front line will be against France and Iraq. They are members of the Allies, while I will side with the Soviet Union. I want to build the air base close to this border. I will build level 3 air base in Adana and level 3 air base in Igdir. If you are building your air bases and important buildings close to the front line, be sure to build them on a rough terrain. For example, if you click on a simplified terrain map mode, you can see that we have mountains both in Igdir and in Adana, where we have urban center. Those are considered rough terrains and will be much easier for you to defend them because attacker gets a huge penalty. So build your important buildings at rough terrain, hills, mountains or urban centers. I will correct my sliders for industrial capacity, and I will unpause the game. If you are one of the more advanced players, I will recommend you to give those sliders to the IE control, not whole production screen, but only the sliders, because when you're playing on a high speed, it will be really hard for you to micromanage all the changes that you have to do in your sliders. So for example, I want to prioritize my production, and now I can play on maximum speed. Waiting for all my units to merge so I can reorganize them. You can see the menu on the right part of the screen. It's called the outliner. You can select the Istanbul HQ and you can see that we have some divisions that are assigned directly to the theater, and we don't want that. We want correct order of battle. So we want division to be attached to a corps, corps attached to army, army attached to army group, and army group attached to theater. So we get full chain of command, which I will talk about later. Let's detach those units by clicking on a division and pressing the D key on your keyboard. You can also do it by pressing the button in the menu of the division. Detach this unit from its current position in the unit hierarchy. I will definitely recommend you to watch this recording in a full screen, full HD resolution, 1080p. I am detaching all naval, land and air units from the theater HQ because I will reassign them later. In the center of the screen you can see that we have stolen the first technology from Germans, encryption machine. Encryption machine should be located somewhere in industry screen, if I'm not wrong. Never mind, not important. Alright, I will unpause the game, but I can also change my training laws to advanced training. My national unity rise because I gave my spies a top priority to rise national unity. British blueprint stolen, light cruiser anti-aircraft armament, another stolen technology. So by stealing enemy technologies you are saving both your time and your leadership, which you can distribute to another thing like diplomacy, officers, research or espionage. Definitely a useful feature. My free spies, I have 30 of them, so I can change distribution of leadership and give priority to research now. All my units have merged in my capital city. We'll select them one more time, click on a leader name, remove the auto assign button, unassign all. I want to assign all my leaders by myself. And another technology stolen, this time by Germans, anti-aircraft, battle and ammunition. Really useful feature. And another technology stolen from Germans, light artillery. Thanks Germans. British blueprint stolen, combat medicine. British blueprint stolen, escort carrier technology. Really useful. You may wonder how it is going so fast. I'm playing on a high speed, maximum possible speed, so don't forget that. If you mouse over the number of men in each division, you will see the composition of that division. So in most of those infantry divisions, I have 3 infantry brigades. In each division, I can have 4 brigades. So that means I can add 1 extra brigade to each of those divisions. So let's see how many I have them. 14 land units. And I need extra unit in removing the cavalry and removing the mountain division, because mountain infantry is best when they are operating alone. They have a huge bonus to movement, defense and attack. So I have selected only my infantry divisions. I have 9 land units selected. That means that I need 9 more brigades to fill all those divisions and have a full division of 4 brigades inside. I will fill them up with artillery and I will talk about it later. Why support brigades are important? Well, here is the point. Each of those brigades occupies space on frontage. For example, you can see that combat width over here, you can see the double-edged arrow. Combat width of each of those divisions is 1 for cavalry, 1 for infantry, 1 for mountain, 1 for garrison. But support brigades like anti-aircraft, anti-tank, artillery, armored car, they have combat width of 0. That means that they don't occupy space on the battlefield, and each frontage is limited. I will talk about frontage width probably in the next recording or when the war starts. So the whole point of it is to bring the maximum firepower at less space. So you want to combine your regular brigades like infantry, mountain, tanks, cavalry with your support brigades like anti-aircraft, anti-tank and artillery. So you have same amount of firepower on a less space. Let's now build 2 parallel and 5 serial runs for artillery. Since I'm playing Turkey and I'm quite low on IC, I want to build those units as a reserve. Take a look at the price. Each artillery brigade have a cost of IC 15, manpower 13.30. If I build them as a reserve, that cost is more than 5 times lower. So I have to pay only 3.75 IC and 3.32 manpower for 10 brigades of artillery. We'll start the production immediately. And one more thing that I forgot to mention is that we also have, like we did with construction practical, we have artillery practical. So our current artillery practical reduces the building cost and time by 47%. And after we build each brigade, our artillery practical will rise by plus 0.4. So after each of those runs, after I build those 1, 2, 3, 4 parallel runs, next brigades, next set of the units will be a bit cheaper. So try to remember this. Those are not. And so I want to build support brigades. Let's do it again. Reserve brigades, sorry. So remember this number, 1.87 IC for each artillery brigade. Next set of artillery brigades will be cheaper and faster to build. Maximum speed again. And now I can reorganize the units and send them to the front lines. I want to select my cavalry first, since they will be upgraded into light armor. But for light armor, I need a technology, light tank brigade. We'll pause the game again and rise my espionage. You can see up over here that my free spies have dropped at 1. So I will not be able to steal new technologies if I don't have enough spies. I also need some diplomatic points so the trade IE can do his job. I cannot do a trade agreements if I don't have enough diplomatic influence. But let's keep research at 1. So I'm researching my industrial efficiency always. Playing at a full speed ahead. Rocket tests. German blueprint stolen. Thank you guys. Again, German blueprint stolen. Sonar and detection equipment, which will improve my future submarines if I decide to build them, of course. My relations with Soviet Union are at 0, and I can improve the relation by offering a trade agreement. That will speed up the drift toward their faction. So if we have a better relation, I will drift toward them much faster. If you mouse over the turkeys on this screen, you can see that it's drifting towards Comintern with a value of 4.85. So 1.45 due to proximity to faction members, 3.39 due to diplomatic influence of faction members. But you can also see that I'm drifting toward Axis and allies, and I want to speed up my drift toward the Soviet Union. So let's try to improve our relations by trade. Each trade agreement will raise the relations with that nation by 15. I can buy some fuel, and I will recommend you that first few trade deals are low on price, because if your relations with the target nation are low, then price will be higher. So for example, I will buy fuel, 6.9 fuel for 3.88 money. Later, when we improve the relations between us, those fuel will be cheaper. So let's start with a small amount, just to raise our relations. I didn't get a notification did they accepted a trade deal or not, because I have automated trade. If I turn this off now, then I will be notified when country refuses or if country accepts our trade deal. But since our current relations are still at zero, I know that Soviet Union didn't accept the trade offer for fuel. So I will have to wait again. Again, I have 33 spies. That means I can invest much more into research. Let's send the units to the front line, and after that I will assign leaders to each division. For that purpose, you can also select a simplified terrain map mode, so you can see what type of terrain you have. For example, this mountain division should definitely be positioned in mountain terrain. If you are not sure what kind of bonus or penalty you have in a certain type of terrain, you can easily click on a division, select brigade inside of it, click on it, scroll down, and you will see all the current technologies that I have. Mountain warfare equipment, night fighting equipment, blah 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 blah. But I don't know why we cannot see terrain effects here. We can see it in mountain division. So let's click on a mountain brigade, scroll down, and you can see that mountain brigade have a plus 50% bonus on attack in mountains, plus 20% on defense in mountains, plus 10% on movement in mountains, and so on and so on. You can see all terrain and effects when you are building your divisions. Let's say I want to build a division with 3 infantry brigades and 1 artillery brigade. You can see our current infantry practical reduces the building cost and time by 44.2%. After I build this division, my infantry practical will rise by plus 0.2, plus 0.2, plus 0.2. My artillery practical will rise by plus 0.4. But if you mouse over this terrain icon up over here, you can see all terrain effects for this type of division. You can also see all the stats, and very important, combat width. How much space the brigade occupies on the battlefield. And one more time, I'm telling you that I will talk about frontage and combat width in the next few recordings. I don't want to spam you with all the informations at once. So that's it, guys. 1936 is coming to the end. Very fast we will enter the 1937. We will be available to build more divisions, more air wings, bombers, interceptors and fighters, but you will have to wait for that. Industrial efficiency technology have advanced. As I said, I want to give it a top priority until I research it at the current year level. You can see that it is currently at 1932. So that would be everything for the first part. I hope you did learn something new. I hope you had some fun, and most of all, I hope that I was not boring to you. If you did like what you saw today, please press the like button down below. If you found this recording useful, please share this recording to others. Share it on a forum, Facebook or Twitter. I would really be glad. German blueprint stolen. Cavalry support weapons advance. Cavalry light artillery advance. And cavalry small arms advance. That will end today's recording. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.